If you're a business owner and you are thinking about making more money, increasing the profitability of your business, this video is for you. I recently witnessed a business deliberately growing their sales, but it was obvious it was damaging their profit. Because when we're running our business, we often think that more sales will get us more profit. And sometimes it will. Often it will. But there are times where more sales can damage your business. And this is one of those examples. So let's bring you back to the sales to help you understand where this went wrong. Basic lesson, profit is the bit for you and your family. Before you get your bit, you've got to pay your staff, look after the people that are helping you running the business. You've got your business costs. You're going to have to pay some taxes, at least I hope you're going to pay some taxes, because if you're not paying any taxes, you're probably not making any money. But if you make more profit, you're probably going to pay more tax. And you might need to invest back into your business. So from your sales figure, this is our sales, we've got to pay out these costs before we can take the money out for us, or before the money's left over for us. And your sales are probably based around some core offers. So these are the offers. Some businesses have 1, 2, 3 offers. Some businesses have a few more. What do I mean by that? What is your core business? I don't know what your core business is, but let's say your core business is a plumber. Let's say your core business is an architect or an accountant or any profession you want to do. Your business sells services or products. If you're a plumber, you might install bathrooms, install kitchens, air source heat pumps. You might get involved in mending taps. They're different services. If you're an architect, you might design interiors, exteriors, landscape, properties, planes, yachts. You've got a core element that you do. That's your profession, your skill. If you're an accountant, you might produce accounts, tax, budgets, forecasts, bookkeeping. They're all different parts of the element of the core thing. And that's my point. In order for you to sell your core product and service, you've got to also understand who your ideal client is, because your ideal client are people who want what you do. And your marketing mission is to convince them that they need what you have. What's in it for them, the benefit for them. And I apologize if this is a little bit basic, but I'm attacking this from a very base point of view to make the point. Your ideal client at some point goes from, don't know who you are, never heard of you, don't even know that I want your thing, to suddenly, I want what you've got and I want to buy it from you. That's the journey of marketing. They suddenly switch around. But these ideal clients, or these clients that want your thing, are aimed at, to start with, your core offer. They go, I need an architect. I need an accountant. I need a plumber. Great. And you say to them, here's the offer. Here's the thing that I have that will solve your problem. Some of these people, and I'm going to draw a line here, to represent about 20%, some of those people are going to go, do you know what? Absolutely. I love the thing in A, B, and C. I want A. Brilliant. Easy to sell to, easy to deliver the product and service to. And that is, by definition, the ideal client. The ideal client is somebody who absolutely wants what you want, who behaves in a way that you expect them to, who doesn't quibble about the price, who is a joy to work with, and many other factors. But essentially, that's it. The not so ideal client says, can you do a better price? Can you do it for less? And if you take that client on for less money, guess who takes the pay cut? You. Because you still got to pay out all these costs. You might save some tax, but you've still got to pay all these costs. But ultimately, that will affect you. That will affect you massively. The other thing that will affect you is if you do the job for less, how do you feel about doing a job and working for less money? How do you feel about taking a pay cut this month? You might actually have a emotional reaction to that that means that you don't really look after that customer as well as you look after that customer. You might have a reaction to it where you cut corners and therefore you don't deliver the very best service. And therefore, if you sell to too many of these people, they're going to tell their friends and the people who don't know about you that actually you bought this thing from this chap, but he isn't that good. It's cheap, but isn't that good. Because the price is long forgotten. All they now can remember is the service. All they can remember is how they felt. All they can remember is, did they get the results? Whereas these people who paid the proper price, because you delivered a proper service, are happy as Larry because they're like, you solved my problem. That was brilliant. They'll rave about you. They become raving fans. But here's what this particular business did. This business is running a reasonably high-end restaurant, bed and breakfast type business. It's in a courtyard. It's an old farm that's been converted into bed and breakfast accommodations, beautiful accommodations. It's got a huge, great barn where you can have social events, weddings, that sort of thing. It's got a restaurant for the barn. It's got a separate restaurant for the separate accommodation in a beautiful location. So people flock to it because it's a nice place to stay. They can get food and they go off and do all the nice things in the area. Fantastic. That's what they do. So they've got the bed and breakfast, they've got the restaurant, they've got the wedding / venue to operate from. It's the core thing that they do. It's known as a country courtyard. A country courtyard provides country courtyard services and facilities. Everything is all interwoven. The barn, the accommodation, the restaurant are all at a standard that is congruent with each other. And if you go there and you say, can I have a cheap room? No, the price is the price is the price. Can I get a discount on my restaurant food? No, the price is the price. But because they do such a good job, nobody really asks that question. When they have a meal, actually people pay more, a tip. But here's what these people did. A conversation came out with the owners to create a new product and service. That new product and service was to make 250 sandwiches a day for a group of school children who were visiting the area every day for this. The local organisation was running these day events for school kids. Part of the deal was they'd provide the sandwiches. They came to this restaurant and said, hey, you've got a kitchen. Can you make 250 sandwiches a day? We are all these kids that need feeding. Yes, we said. Yes, because what we want to be able to do is we want to be able to make more money. So if we make more sales and 250 sandwiches, that's quite a lot of work. We've got the facilities. We've got the team. Let's go off and make sandwiches. Here's what actually happened. This business isn't actually my client, but my client experienced it because my client runs a holiday company and uses this venue regularly and takes 20 people at a time and hires the whole venue. So my client is the best customer of this business. They took a group of people there for the week and they witnessed the sandwich making going on first thing in the morning. They witnessed the staff, how they reacted to making these sandwiches. The staff who run this nice restaurant and look after this nice venue don't want to make sandwiches. That's not what they signed up for. The sandwich business itself of making these sandwich took up half the hall first thing in the morning. Tables laid out, production for making sandwiches as a rate for children. When they wanted their sandwiches for their picnic for the day, which was supposed to be a beautifully presented picnic with lovely bread and cheese and all the things that were there, the quality of that picnic hamper clearly dropped off because after making 250 sandwiches first thing in the morning, the staff lost the will to live and threw the thing together, and so the quality went down. The evening meal, staffing issues because the staff were knackered because had to come in early to make these blooming sandwiches. And therefore the sandwiches themselves might have made more money, but the damage to the business and the distraction to the business was clearly now having an effect on all of the core things that were going on. In other words, they'd lost sight of their ideal client. They suddenly said, oh, we've got this weird customer over here who doesn't want any of our core things, but what we're doing is we're going to create this new thing on the side just for them, and we're going to run this little business on the side just to service that. And this is where a lot of businesses go wrong because they try and do too many things. They basically try and serve everybody and everybody. They get everybody in the world who wants their thing. Let's see if we can fix that. If you're a plumber and you specialize in fitting high-end boiler systems, and you're doing renewable systems, and you're putting these big systems in and refurbishing properties and doing the whole 9 yards, going around fixing Mrs. Wiggins' tap 30 miles away for 20 quid, you shouldn't be doing that. You're going to be wasting your time. Now, that'll be obvious. So there'll be things down here that you just won't do because it's just obvious. But it's the things that you think are a good idea that need questioning around your core service, because they can end up as a big distraction because they're driven by this sales thing that we have to do. Now, I get it that the business itself, the core business, after all its costs, might not be making enough money. And that's the challenge you have. I've got this business, it works, it makes money, it's just not making enough money. How can I increase that profitability? How can I get to the core of it? Well, if you were to do more work on your ideal client, more work on the offer that you offer them, you will find that the profit is hidden in that. It always is. Well, I can't charge more for the thing that I offer. Yeah, you can. You can't charge more to these people, but you can charge more to these people. Or we go find new people who will pay more for your thing. And the reason you can't charge more is because you haven't changed the thing. If you want to charge more for product A, make product A better. Solve a bigger problem. Solve a better problem. Find a different client. I guarantee you that will happen. You will, if you find a better client and you offer a better product, you can charge more. Maybe you need to change your systems and processes. Maybe you need to change your staff to deliver better. All of these things can be done with your core product, rather than just making more products to sell, more services to sell. If you were to study your numbers, if you were to study the data, if you were to look at the profitability of your business, put it on a big spreadsheet, spread all the figures out, work out what it is that you're really good at, you'll probably find out of the things that you do, 20% of the things that you sell will bring in 80% of your profit. That will come from 20% of the people you sell to. 20% of your customers will buy 20% of your business, generate 80% of your profits. It's kind of a mathematical law that will go on. What you've got to do is study it, because you might find, don't need to do one of these. What I need to do is get better at this. What I need to do is get better at finding better clients. You're already doing the marketing to get clients. Let's get a different client, a better client. What stops us sometimes from doing that is our own confidence and belief that says this product and service that I've got, I could sell more. I could make it the best in the world. I could be world class at what I do. I could do this way better. And therefore I'd make this whole process. this particular country courtyard, it's good. It's good. It's not world class. It's got some failings in delivering product A and product B and product C. There are times where it's not that good. There are times where they have staffing issues. There are times where the efficiency isn't there. And therefore, that affects their ability to increase their prices. And if you took their menu prices for the thing that they sell and you went to 100 similar locations in the country, you wouldn't find them at the top. But they could put themselves at the top and they could transform their own personal fortunes if they focused on doing the one thing they do well even better. If they focused on the one thing they do well with marketing and made that even better. That's my little lesson for today. If you've got any comments, leave them in the comments below. And I'll see you soon.